Hello, everybody. Welcome to Encounter Balance. Jeff here, running a game here, all Drow, called Angel Hunters. So, the Night Mother, the leader of your group of Drow, has heard reports, scouts from some of the Drow scouts that they've sent up to the surface. They think that they found another group following an angel. If the reports are accurate, which they typically are for this sort of thing, then the best of the best are going to need to be sent out to deal with this angel. And that is you guys. And as you prepare to set out up to the surface world, up to this angelic convent that you will use as bait for the angel that leads it, yeah, if you guys want to throw names in the chat real quick. All right. Oh, is it Slytherin? Is that how it's pronounced?
Cytherine.
Slytherin. What's going through your mind? How are you preparing yourself mentally, physically? What are your thoughts about this hunt that you're about to go on?
Cytherine is excited. She's been kind of idle for a little while and eager to get back into some intrigue, some mystery solving, trying to figure out where this angel is. She kind of misses the olden days before they were part of this elite troop, and where they could just kind of hang out and destroy beautiful things together and cause mischief.
Hello?
Did I drop or did Alex drop?
Oh, looks like Alex dropped.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think we lost you there for a second, Alex, towards the end.
Oh no. Yeah, so she's kind of missing the old days of when they used to kind of quest around and cause mischief, and before everything was so serious. And she's kind of hoping that they'll all have a good time and have some fun on this quest, like the olden days.
Awesome. And Karth, how are you preparing, and what's going through your mind as you get ready to take on this undertaking?
So Karth would be communing with his patron, which is this long-bladed spear. It's kind of like wrapped in actual shadow. There's no actual haft to the spear, not a physical one. And the way he communes involves a long ritual whereby he would stab himself through the chest with the spear, and he would die ostensibly while the spear communed with him, and then it, with its powers, would raise him once again. And so he would be sitting sort of cross-legged with the tip of this spear, or the long blade of it, pierced through his heart, learning from his patron, trying to understand the strange and eldritch tongue that it speaks, and the advice it's giving him on the destruction of light.
Man, that's awesome. You can take a point of inspiration for that. That's freaking dope. And Kwanim, what's going through your head? How are you preparing?
The cave is dark. The man sits in the cave with hair the color of moonlight and his skin the color of a new moon. 7 drow children sit kneeling before him with a bowl of angelic blood sitting before them in turn. Each child is praying over the blood. Once they have finished, they, one by one, give the bowl to this man Quanim, the sin of knights and the breaker of angels and the stripper of wings. And one by one, he drinks these bowls of angelic blood, and then he turns and he leaves and he prepares.
Awesome. And finally, Zamiel, how are you preparing? What's going through your mind?
Samuel is sitting in his hut to himself, gathering ingredients for healing poultices. And he puts a little bit of this and a little bit of that together. And he makes a few markings in the dirt of his dirty floor, kind of making symbols to the nature of different signs he might find. And whether or not this may be the last time he goes out to hunt angels. But he secretly hopes that he can kill another angel and gather more ingredients, gather more to experiment on. Angel feathers, angel dust, maybe even angel eyes. I wonder what I could figure out with that. Perhaps I can make an angel feather pillow and give it to the matron. I'm sure she would love that. And he's just humming to himself pleasantly while he's finishing up his poultices.
And after a time, each of you is greeted by one of the drow back and forth. They each would hand each of you a letter signifying the time and place to prepare yourself to leave, to meet up, to go out into the surface. And from there, we cut away. It's been an hour or two since then. The 4 of you are gathered. In the distance, you can see the light pouring in from the tunnel, barely. The overcast sky masks most of the sun, as you can see. There's a couple other drow in the room, alongside the Night Mother, leader of your particular group. As she beckons the 4 of you forward, "It is time, my children. If you want to attack the convent during the night, you'll need to set out now. You shouldn't get too much trouble on the roads during the day, so I shouldn't expect it'll be a problem for such as you to take care of. You have any questions for the scouts or for myself? You may ask now, or else you will go and do your duty."
How well armed were these preachers and worshippers?
Most of them were not armed at all, hardly people. They're not well fed, though there were a few among them. A few armored soldiers, a few priests who may have been blessed with the angel's magic. Maybe about 7 or 8 total that you would need be worried about.
Hearing that
The
number,
rest,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
just say, The rest of them are hardly worth the effort to kill.
Quanim takes a swig from his flask. Inside of it, of course, is a mixture of wine and a few drops of angelic blood. And he looks to Karth and he just points a finger at him very aggressively and he says, "At least 4 of those are mine. I don't care how you want to split up the rest with that spear of yours."
7 humans hardly seems a challenge, though the angel, perhaps something else. You can have however many you like, but the angel I shall kill.
I think we should kill all of them. I've already devised 5 plans of exciting ways to watch them squirm.
Quanim looks at Cytherine as he usually does, wondering if she's actually the drunk one and not him. But he keeps his mouth shut and just keeps looking to the Night Mother, waiting.
Do we know anything about the angel, Ilhades?
The scouts could not get any word about the angel. It's like many of them, they tend to be reclusive, showing up to their followers only when needed, when they're threatened. Like most angels, I would not be ready for an easy fight. That's why, of course, we're sending people such as yourselves. In the
Well,
meantime,
with such pathetic followers, it cannot be one of the higher choirs, surely. Ilhades.
you can never be certain with angels. They have their mysteries. Their minds can be an enigma.
It might
Tread
as
carefully,
not.
as you always do.
Off with us then.
Reverend Mother, may I ask for a blessing before we leave?
Of course, my child. And she beckons you forward. Kneel.
I do so and put my forehead on the ground.
You feel her kneel down above you. You feel the slight sound of metal, of a dagger unsheathing. And then you feel a dot of warmth start to run down your head and onto the ground as you lay there. And then a sharp sting as she drags the knife down across your scalp into a symbol, whispering these deep words hardly with sound. The specific words, it's hard to track their meaning, but you can feel them more so than you can hear and understand them. As she whispers this blessing, she wipes the blood down from the cut in your head, down onto your forehead. Now rise and go forth.
Elendar, Ilhades.
I'll expect good news within a few days. Now go. There's no time to lose.
Quanim has already thrown up his hood, and he's about halfway up the tunnel as she says this. He was watching Karth's ritual, and he had no stomach for such a thing. Not because his love for the Night Mother is weak, or his love for the mission is small, but because he can't stand the fact of a man as powerful as Carr still kneeling to someone as like the Night Mother herself. So he approaches the light at the end of the tunnel, rising higher and higher, waiting for the others to follow after him.
Yep. Cytherine is on his heels.
Zemiel is trailing behind a little. And he makes a comment. My friends, shall we fly?
No, if we fly, the angels and their birds and their eagles and their feathered things, no, flying, that's their domain, and we don't enter their domain.
Very well.
I wouldn't be against it. Quanin, you never want to try anything new anymore.
Birds
You
are
are
fun to
so
me.
stuck up like the angels themselves, following the strict path.
Shut up,
You
woman.
used to have fun.
Shut up,
together.
woman. Karth, get this woman in check, would you?
Her face goes stone cold at that and says, Need I remind you of the matriarchy? You overstep your bounds, Quanin.
You need not
Yes.
remind any of us who is in charge of this mission. That is clear. It is doctrine. However, you have brought myself and Quanim along for tactical brilliance, and flying up above where the sun blinds our eyes is a bad idea, tactically speaking, mistress.
Very well, we shall go your own way. By foot. Even though it is less exciting.
Mistress,
Bear in mind that you could use some excitement in your lives.
we are not going on this mission for excitement. We are going to slay an enemy of the shadow.
If you are blinded by your cause and can enjoy none of the freedom that we have down below, you are no better than the angels yourselves.
Freedom is for women, killing is for us. Now let's go.
She kind of rolls her eyes and walks towards the common.
Karth would like to stomp past in his armor, unhappy but unwilling to say anything. He knows his place.
And as the conversation closes, the edge of the tunnel right before you, the sun is mostly hidden behind the clouds, but you can still feel it. The slight, near, almost burn of the sun. As the Night Mother said, you'll have to cross through the sunlight if you're going to reach the convent at night. And as the four of you travel on, you'll have a moment. If there's anything that you'd like to do to prepare, to look for, to say to each other, or to plan, you'll have a moment to do so right now.
Mistress, I have brought
Yes.
some materials, knowing that we're going to hunt an angel. I have brought things to create a circle for you before we begin the slaughter and then the summoning procedure. While you're inside of this circle, you will not be a likely target for the creature. However, if you are moved outside of the circle, I implore you to get to either Karth or myself, because we cannot protect you as easily.
Very well. I appreciate the protection. We go about pulling apart this band of angel bootlickers.
It will be trivial, mistress. The humans, even their great warriors, are no match for myself or Quanim. So I do not believe that will be the trouble. It'll be a quick slaughter, and one that will make the angel angry, and hopefully convince it to come and pay us a visit.
So direct. Wouldn't it be more fun to have them tear each other apart from the inside? Would that not cause more grief for this angel than to see his
No.
own followers kill each other?
The thing about angels, mistress, is that if they see humans infighting, they simply leave and find more humans. You need to put the humans in the case where they want to pray for the angel. Me and Karth have a trick that usually works. We find the children, we tie them up by their hands, and we tear open their backs and rip out their lungs, right? We make them look like angels, we make the parents enraged by it, and then the angel tends to come.
This is not our first foray into the surface, mistress, nor is it our first angel.
It is not mine either, of course. I just enjoy doing something new every once in a while. The angels are forces of law. They abide to strict rules and strict plans. We are forces of chaos. We improvise, change things up. If we stick to a single goal and single-mindedly pursue it at the expense of all other worldly pleasures, we are no better than the angels themselves.
Mistress, with respect, the depravity and the debauchery that we get up to in the safety of our home is what sets us apart from the humans. We act how we will and act what we want. But when we are here on the surface, it is a world hostile to us. And when we are trying to defeat a creature like an angel from another dimension, which is magnitudes more powerful than we, perhaps it behooves us not to have fun and to get the mission done.
Young mistress, I might have a solution in mind if you're interested.
Yes, indeed. Do tell.
I have a special spell where a poisonous gas blooms out, moving 10 feet every few seconds. The stronger may survive it, but the young, the old, and decrepit most certainly will not. They will most likely drown in their own blood. And all they can do is scream for help before they die.
I like it. New and intriguing. These humans will gather for their evening mass tonight at sundown. I propose we spill this gas in onto them and bar the door. You two can slaughter whoever manages to get out. I anticipate hearing their screams, and it fills me with joy.
Quanin takes a long drag from his flask, recaps it, and just looks at Karth with that look. That's like the look of fucking mistresses, man. And then he just looks away.
Yeah, Karth returns the look and spits on the ground. Looks at the mistress for a moment, but is silent.
Very well, since we are all in agreement, let us sneak into the encampment and apply the plan.
And with that, you guys continue on. The walk Takes another couple hours. The sun is beginning to move, but has not yet set. And as you're getting closer and closer, your keen drow hearing would pick up on the other side of the hill the sound of voices. A couple human voices. There's just chatting, joking, laughing.
Quanim will raise his hand to stop like the moving train. He will take his flask and is going to uncork it and is going to walk back towards where the mistress is. He's going to start walking in a 10-foot diameter circle around her, or radius circle around her, pouring out the wine in small shakes and whispering something under his breath as he does so. He's going to do this for about a minute and then restop with the flask and put it back in there. He then looks at her and he says, "When the angel shows up, into the circle you go."
Will the circle be moving with me?
It will not. You will bring the angel back here, or if not, you will have a very good buffer to sling whatever spell you want to sling at the fucking thing.
Right, but the village is still a mile or so out.
Yes.
Are we sure we will be fighting it on this terrain?
Likely not, but I will be making more circles just in case.
Very well. If the angel shows up, I will be glad for your protection.
And
The
Quanim,
angel will want us dead, mistress. It will be filled with righteous vengeance, and it will follow us if we go here.
Indeed, I did not know that our plan was to run when we found it. But I appreciate your gesture nonetheless.
Karth spits on the ground again.
With these few humans in front. Is it dark at this point?
Not quite. You still have a little bit of ways to go until you're like fully there, but you're close enough that these people are probably, you would guess, somewhat related to the outpost. It's the sun is beginning to move. It's beginning to set, but it's still basically light out.
Quanim begins unhooking the javelins from his back. He stabs one into the ground, just right where he is, and he takes another one into his hand, and he carries the other bundle of 3 javelins in his other hand. And he begins heading up the hill, waiting for Karth to come with him, as well as Zamiel.
Karth would take the shield off his back, and he would like hold out his hand, and the spear would begin to coalesce from shadow into his hand.
Zamiel would also remove his shield and cast Shillelagh on his staff, which kind of looks like a spine, but it's clearly too straight for it. It must have been carved that way. And it starts to emanate a slight green glow.
Yes, let us dispose of these nuisances. Please. Amuse yourselves. And she kind of just waves her hand forward towards the sounds of the voices, knowing that that'll get them in the mood for killing and a little appetizer. And she's just going to enjoy and watch.
So is it like a
small hill? She would like kind of climb up to the top of that and lie down and like basically view the sea.
Sorry, what were you about to ask, Marquise?
I was gonna ask, like, is it like a wall of shrubbery that I'm walking through, or like what am I walking into?
So basically, like, it's more of like a plains. There's not much on it as a whole. But basically, like as you get to the top of the crest of this hill, probably about 90 feet or so down, you can see like 4 humans. They've got basically like a small camp set up. They've got like a small fire burning, and they're just kind of sitting around it, talking
All right.
amongst each other. But there's basically not much between you and them other than the crest of the hill that you're about to cross over.
Quantum knows very well that blitzkrieging defenseless humans is generally the easiest way to completely take them out of any kind of situation. So literally, once he has line of sight, right, he's going to just keep moving at them. The first human that turns to look at him is going to throw a javelin and then throw another into his hand and then throw the second javelin as well. And I already rolled those with disadvantage since it's sunlight out, if you want me to go ahead and tell you what I rolled.
Awesome. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and roll initiative, and then
Alright.
you guys will have a surprise round, so you'll take that as your action. All right, and Quanim, what were your attack rolls?
So the lowest I had, one second. Lowest I had was a 15. Is that it?
Yes, both of those will hit.
All right, bet. So since I'm making surprise then, which human would look up first? The pyromancer, the smith, which one? Jonas?
It probably would be Eric the Steadfast.
Eric the Steadfast. Okay, so Eric the Steadfast is going to take 3 plus 5, so 8 plus 6. It's going to be taking 14 points of damage. That's 2 javelins, basically. I just chuck them both straight at him.
Yeah, and both land true. He lets out a yell of pain. Ah, we're under attack! He starts yelling. The other 4 people start to scramble around, but the rest of you will also have a round of surprise. So we'll just go through in order for the rest of them. So Karth, for your surprise round.
Okay, how far are we from them roughly?
About 90 feet.
Okay. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna move forward 30. I'm going to start jogging, and as I do so, I'm going to, like the spear is going to coalesce some shadow, and I'm going to point it at them, and there's going to be a globe of darkness that comes down on them, and that will be it.
Awesome. Yeah, as this blackness spreads over them, one of them begins to shout, "They have the demon's magic! Ready yourselves!"
Zamiel is going to cast Fairy Fire. And they need to make a dex save.
All of them or one of them?
All of them.
All right, and what am I looking for?
13 dex save.
Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna say, if they leave the darkness, then they'll have the effect on them still.
Okay.
But while they're inside of the sphere, it will not apply. So 2 of them make it. Korlag and
Right.
Eric succeed the save. Kaufman and Jonas do not.
All right, the ones that failed, we should get a regular attack instead of disadvantage, since usually they would give you advantage, but since we have disadvantage, I think it would just give us a normal roll.
Awesome. Sounds good.
And
and Slytherin.
Cytherine, sorry, is going to kind of plop herself down on the top of the hill, cross-legged, and kind of look down and see what's going on. A smile twitching at the corner of her eyes. This hasn't happened in a while, and she's enjoying every minute of it. It's kind of soured by the fact that the sun is out, but that's not enough to dampen her mood at the slaughter here. And she kind of just waves a hand a little bit to the side and mutters a few words and just says, "Yes, onward, my queen. Show me how you fight, how you destroy these people, and do so with haste." And she's casting haste on you. So you have +2 to your armor class. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and attack each turn. And she's just going to sit back and relax and kind of watch you do your thing.
Awesome. And with that, we'll go into full-on initiative order. So right now, all 4 of them are within this sphere of darkness that Karth has laid down. And Karth, you are first to go.
Okay, I have Devil's Sight, so I can see within the magical darkness. And my eyes will kind of flare reddish as I start to run another 30 feet, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast. I'm going to target the Pyromancer with all 3.
Absolutely.
So the first one's going to be a 16, then a 15, then like a 20, oh god, 27.
Christ. Yeah, those will all hit.
Okay, Jesus. Oh man, this is going to be grim. Do I add my charisma modifier to each one? Oh god.
Yeah, if you have the agonizing blast, then yes, you do. It's
It's
insane.
going to be 37 points of damage.
Whew. Yeah, that's gonna bloody him straight away. So if you want to give me, since you bloodied him in 1 round, for me that's a D10,
Yes, sir.
if you would.
A 3.
Oh God. Let's see, that is.
I think it
Alrighty,
drops
one
to
more
0
D10.
in a stable,
Yeah,
right?
one more D10 if you don't mind.
Sure. An 8.
Oh God. So one of these blasts of force crushes right into his head. You see him spin like a person who's been hit with a haymaker in a boxing match, and he falls to the floor unconscious.
Perfect.
And that is
Actually, you know what? That was a cantrip, so I can still cast a spell, right? So I will Misty Step the remaining 30 feet, so I'm in the darkness with them.
oh man, awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
So are they standing close enough to each other that I would be able to like get engaged on them?
Yeah, they were basically like around like a small campfire, so they're all within like 3 or 4 feet of each other.
Perfect. So I'll just get right in the middle, so if they try to run, I'll cut them down.
Absolutely. And that brings us to Pyromancer Korlag. He is unconscious from the murderous onslaught that was sent his way. He's not dead. He may get back up, but for now he's incapacitated. And that will bring us to, looks like, Kaufman. Kaufman is going to try to get out of the darkness. So you will be able to take an opportunity attack, Parth.
Oh, I will do so. It's a 27 to hit.
That's it's close, but I think that'll hit.
So it's oh my god, it's gonna be 6 plus 12, 18 damage.
Whew. You just hear just the screams of terror. Well, you can see them, and you can see the fear on their face. Everyone else just hears the screams from within this blotched out spot of shadow. He's not killed. He does run out of the circle. He turns back.
Can I just shout as he runs to say, "If you leave this circle, your death will be agonizing."
Um,
I'm not like looking to do a check or anything. I just want to say it.
yeah, I was just rolling for him just to kind of see. He ignores the threat. He continues on past the circle of shadow, back out into the sunlight. And after he runs about 15 or 20 feet back, he turns around up towards the hill since he can't see into the shadow. He levels a crossbow at you, Quanim. No, he ran the other direction. He ran away.
Gotcha.
And he is going to. I'm guessing your armor class is higher than 10.
Oh yeah, so as the arrow like comes at him, because of the haste spell that's on Quanim right now, it's literally as if he just sees Quanim split into Quanim in a shadow of himself, and the bolt just goes sailing past.
And as the bolt thunks into the hill behind you, Kaufman actually turns back. He takes a couple steps back. Just fear drains his face. He stumbles backwards onto his back. Cytherine, you are up. There are 3 people and Karth inside the darkness. There is one who's run backwards out of the darkness.
And I don't have any kind of thing to help me see in magical darkness. So I think for me, it's just a sphere of darkness that I can't see into, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, unless you are a warlock with Devil's Sight, you're basically out of luck.
Yeah, so she kind of frowns at this, like she was hoping for a good show, but she enjoys the screams and the sound of it nonetheless. And she kind of gets up and just walks around sort of on the side of the hill to get a good look at the guy with the crossbow and just kind of grins down at him and winks. That's it. She's going to let these guys do their thing.
Awesome. Eric is going to run as well. He actually, contrary to Kaufman, runs out of the circle towards the hill. So you guys would see him burst out of the shadow, running past Karth, though he can't see him there. And he pulls out a sword and pulls a shield off of his back. And he bows his head for just a moment, though he keeps his eyes open and focused. As he runs a hand across his sword, the sword will become engulfed in flames. He'll raise it up and charge up in your direction, Quanim, though he will not make it to you this round. The Blessed One will destroy you and your shadows. And Zamiel, that'll bring us to you.
Zamiel moves forward next to Quinine, just right in front of the guy who's coming closer. And he blows poison spray at him. Let's see.
It's a con save.
That
BT
is-
dubs.
Yes, thank you. And the DC is a 16.
He will make that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, as this gas goes towards him, he lifts up his shield and like waves it towards this gas cloud, and you would expect it to go right through the cloud and continue on towards him. But there's like a small flash of this like orange light that smashes the gas. It disperses into the air. Your demon magic will not work on me. As he continues towards you. Jonas within the circle. No one else would see it other than Karth. He's still on the ground, almost basically prone. He's on like his hands and knees, shaking. He doesn't look anywhere because he can't see. He says, "Please, please don't kill me."
There's no answer from Quarth. He's just waiting to end this pathetic thing.
And he just continues to quiver on the ground, almost in like a bowed position, and he does nothing. Quanim.
About that, I was muted. This was it Eric Steadfast who came running at me.
Correct.
He needs to make a athletics or acrobatics check real quick. I have a 25 on mine. That's what he's shooting to get.
Close but no cigar. He was a mod 20, so whatever you're trying to do, we'll do.
All right. So the moment he finishes saying that line about demon magic, it's literally like a snap of the fingers, and Quanim's hand is around his throat, choking him out and lifting him off the ground. As I use my first of my 3 attacks to grapple this guy, Quanim looks at him directly. He sees him choking, spitting on his face, the burning sword, the heat of it licking the side of his face and his armor, and he says to him, "Demon magic this, demon magic that, my friend, I don't use demon magic." He hoists the javelin up and is going to take Eric and slam him into the ground, raise up the javelin above this man's chest and simply tell him, "I use the magic of your angels." And then you will see this javelin erupt in brilliant white light, wings coming from the side of it. As he's going to make both attack, he's going to burn a first level spell slot for both of those to turn them both into smites. So, all right, the lowest side is 15. Does that help?
15 will not hit, actually. You're looking for 18.
All right, so imagine as he brings them both down on top of this guy, this dude kind of moves his shield into the way, and you just see the light just kind of bouncing off of it. And then Quanim just lets him go and in the grapple and just starts laughing as he stands over the dude.
And he grunts and starts to try to lift himself to his feet. He just snarls at seeing this use of his magic, of this holy magic against him. And that will take us back up to Karth. Korlag is still unconscious in the circle with you. So is Jonas, who was cowering in front of you.
Yeah, Jonas, I'm just going to get my booted foot and kick him in the face, try and knock him out. Because I think it might be useful to have some living people that we can torture to bring the angel here. So I don't know if I'll just make an unarmed attack, or I could hit it with the butt of my spear maybe, in the attempt to like not kill him, but knock him unconscious.
Yeah, if you just want to do like a strength check, like just like an attack check, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, it's gonna be 14. Strength ain't my thing. Yeah, it's gonna be an 18 all up.
All right, so despite strength not being your focus as a drow, you're still head and shoulders above the average human, especially such a scrawny, pathetic weasel like Jonas. So what does this look like as you just knock him out?
Yeah, he's like quivering on the ground, and so I just like take a step back. I know that he can't see me, and so I take a step back calmly and like just swing my plated boot towards his face, kick him inside of the head, and he falls unconscious to the ground.
And his cowering cries just fall silent as the metal connects with his head. This scent lights out.
There was another one that ran in a direction that wasn't towards Quanim. I'm going to run after him.
Yes, that is Kaufman, the smith.
Okay.
And he is within 30 feet, so you can reach him.
Okay, great. So I think this works. I have life drink, which gives me 2 attacks, and I guess that was 1 attack, so I could make another attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'll do that. Actually, I will cast one of my cool cantrips. Yep, I'll cast Booming Blade. Oh, that's an action. Shit, never mind. I won't. I'll just hit him. I don't know, like way over 25.
Yes.
I can't do this level of maths. It's going to be 15 points of damage.
Jesus, yeah. As this spear just punctures him, he lets out another scream, and he drops the crossbow in his hand. It falls onto the ground.
Excellent. So, like, I can see that I've dealt with these 3 by myself, and I'll like look up to the hill where the other one is and see that he seems to be taken care of as well. And I'll just spit on the body of the one in front of me.
Sorry, Coffin didn't die. He just dropped his crossbow.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No worries. Although
That's
he
it for
does
me.
look worse for wear. Sitherine, anything this round? Are you just chilling still?
Absolutely still chilling. These guys are doing great. This is awesome. She didn't see what happened inside the zone of darkness though. So she doesn't really know that he had just knocked one out, and so she will cry out, "Be sure you boys leave one alive for me to play with."
Carth rolls his eyes, like, could you not be quiet? We are trying to engage in a stealth operation. You're fucking shouting from the top of the hill. He's like muttering this to himself.
From what I understood, we were like still like a mile out or more from the.
Sure. Yeah.
Still, the point stands.
Yeah, for sure. She's not being
So-
overly careful.
So Eric stands up in front of you, Quanim. He brings up this flaming sword. He goes to strike at you, just attack misses. But then he whirls around with the second attack. You do not deserve that magic. That magic is sacred. And he brings this sword towards you. And with your speed, you think that you'll dodge it. But his strike lands true. Like his movement is unnatural, almost unhuman, as if guided, as he critically hits. I'm going to need you to roll me a d10 real quick.
It's a 5, as I put in the chat.
So, as this sword slashes through you, you feel the sting of the slash that you're used to feeling. But the fire does not burn like normal fire. It almost seems to burn down to your core, past anything that you're used to feeling. Well, you particularly may know the feeling, the wrath of the angels Their sacred power that cuts down to your core, and as it cuts, you feel your connection to your shadow waning from the light, and you'll suffer 2 levels of exhaustion from the critical hit, in addition to the 10 damage that you'll take.
I'll do Quanium's reaction on his turn.
Awesome. That will take us then to Zamiel. You see this armored man strike with this strange quickness and fortitude. He cuts into Quanim with this magically enchanted sword.
I'm going to try and cast web on him. Just so Quinine is just out of range. It is a dexterity save.
Let's save. He will fail. What does that do?
He is now restrained in a 20-foot cube of web. And since this is a concentration spell, my fairy fire is going to disappear.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
he has to make a strength save every turn in order to break free.
Awesome. Yeah, so this like spring of web streaks up the hill just in front of Quanim, preventing you guys from being in it, though it will catch Eric. The web's wrapping around his legs, preventing his movement. He snarls and his eyes dart over to you. And Jonas is unconscious, so that will be Quanim.
You see Quanim's side, along his ribs, vertical. You see the slash. It's not bleeding. In fact, you see the glittering lights of ambers inside of it, for the angelic flames are still burning at the innards and at the organs inside of Quanim. He touches it. He looks at his stands, his fingers. He whistles and looks at this man. Nice hits, my friend. And he drops both of the javelins to the ground beside him, and he draws out his long sword. When someone's in web, you said that they're restrained?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, does his sword make the web catch fire, by the way?
He hasn't touched it with the sword yet, so we'll find out.
Okay, just checking.
So he's restrained, so his speed is 0. Attack rolls against him have advantage. His attacks have disadvantage, and he has a disadvantage on dex saves.
All right. Quanim,
you'll attack normally if you choose to attack.
Quanim takes the sword in both hands. He levels it cleanly, and then he takes a simple step forward, and using the haste on him, he's going to try and make 3 rapid strikes, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, to try and decapitate this guy flat out. So let me go ahead and roll all these d20s on this dice roller. All right, so only one of those will hit because of disadvantage. Actually, no, because I forgot it levels up with disadvantage.
You'll have advantage, so you'll roll with normal.
Yeah, bet. Okay, so then the lowest I have is a 21. So all of these hit. So yes. I'm going to not burn any spell slots, I feel, on this. Maybe we'll see. All right, that's going to be 21 plus 15. So it's going to be 36 points of damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and burn 1 spell slot for another smite on top of that. So that's going to be an additional 9 points of damage. So that's going to be a total of 45 points of damage to the guy.
Jesus, yeah, that will not down him, but it will bloody him. So go ahead and give me a d10.
All right. And I got another 5 on that.
All right, with the 5s. Yeah, so one of these hits with just this remarkable, just this unreal speed from the haste. As it just slams into him, it dazes him from the blast. He'll have disadvantage on everything until the end of his next turn.
All right. And before I end my turn, he's going to raise his hand over to Karth and then to Zamil to kind of tell him that, the hold off on killing this guy. Quanim's working over here.
Alrighty, and with that, that'll take us back up to the top. Garth, you have a now unarmed Kaufman in front of you.
Okay. I'm going to attack him. So I guess like I've got my shield and my spear, and he's standing in front of me. Has dropped his crossbow, and I'll just like tilt my head to the side, kind of spookily, like a dog trying to listen, and then I'm going to make my attacks. Have I got disadvantage on these? Yes, right?
Yes, the fairy fire has dropped as the web is up now, so you will have disadvantage.
That could have been a crit. So that's going to be still a 23. And this one, that's going to be a 16.
16 will hit Kaufman.
Okay. Man, I've got plus 11 to hit, man.
That's absurd.
Okay, so... Oh my god. 32 points of damage.
All right, what does it look like as Kaufman dies?
Yeah, so I stand in front of him, kind of like trying to understand what he is, like getting a good look at a human and thinking like, what a wretched thing this is. And I've got the spear kind of held relaxed in my right hand. And I'm looking at him, and I even kind of like, and then decide, nah, it's not worth keeping this thing alive. I'll just slash out with the spear, the long blade cutting into his throat, and then pull it back and stab it through his heart, kicking off the blade.
And his body just falls limply, just breaking easily under your strength. And then the rest of you see from this orb of darkness this wounded man in these red clothing jumps out of the darkness. He's still dazed, but he is now back to consciousness. Pyromancer Korlag, he looks over up the hill towards Quanim and towards Zamiel. And he sees Eric in the web. And his hands begin to glow with an orange light. As he lets out just this yell, just this, ah! And around the web, up to Eric, up to Zamiel, and up to Quanim, I will need all of you to make dex saves. And Eric will make one as well. With disadvantage. This is going to be DC 15.
With that aura protection, I make my save. The web is set on fire. Eric will take a 2d6 fire damage.
So as this pyromancer weaves this spell, just this streak of fire bursts up from the ground. It lights the grass up on fire. Just in this streak straight up towards everybody. As he casts a wall of fire. Those of you that failed your dex save will take 20 fire damage. If you succeeded, you will take half that. And the wall will remain. You will need to move, or else you will continue to take damage from it. And that is Korlag. Kaufman is dead. Cytherine.
All right, so seeing that this fight isn't turning out quite as easily as she had expected, her turns into a scowl, and as soon as she saw her friend Quanim take that hit that seemed to just exhaust him and like a solid hit, she had started unpacking from her back her loot, and so by this point she kind of has it out, and she strums a few chords, clearly not worried at all about being discreet at this point. And what with fireballs and stuff flying everywhere, strums a few chords, and she's going to give her bardic inspiration to Quani. And other than that, she's still kind of just sitting there cross-legged on the top of the hill, kind of just jamming, enjoying the. So you got a D10, Quanine, that you can add for either an attack roll or a saving throw.
Awesome. And then that will take us to Eric. Eric is going to attempt to get out of this fire that is now covering the area. Quanim, you're still right next to him. So if you'd like to make an attack of opportunity, you'll be able to do so.
Does the attack so it's just a normal roll because the web? Yes, or no?
I think the web has been burned, I believe.
That's a disadvantage. Damn, that would have been a crit. All right, so if that's the case, I'm not going to use my bardic inspiration on this, but it's going to miss because AC is 18, so I only got a 15 on the hit.
Yeah, so you go to strike out at him, but with all the fire and smoke and the exhaustion, it's just too much. He runs back down the hill and positions himself as close to Korlag as he can get, and just readies himself. Zamiel.
You're muted if you're talking, Zamia.
Oh no, I was thinking. Let's see. I am going to cast web again on those two. And dexterity save. Fire.
Korlag will succeed, but Eric will not. The pyromancer just jumps as he sees the web springing up. But Korlag in his heavy armor is not able to move, and he is restrained once again.
And that's all I can do.
Alrighty, and you are in a giant wall of fire, so I'm assuming you're gonna move as well.
Oh yeah, I got out.
Awesome. Jonas is dead. Quanim.
Quanim comes sauntering out of the fire. His cape and his cloak have been burned away to ash. His hair has been burned black as well, almost completely gone from his skull. As he walks down, the shadows kind of play around his body as the haste is still there. And every step he takes, he seems to be taking 2 and then 3. Korog, the pyromancer, he will see Quanim in front of him. And then when he turns his head, Quanim is already beside both him and his friend Elric. And the sword will come down once on Eric, attempting to decapitate him. I have a 23 on that, so the damage for that attack right there will be 10 plus 5 plus the D8 plus 2. So that's going to be 17 points of damage for the first hit to Elric. Does that kill him or no?
That actually does. Yes. What does that look like?
It's very, very nonchalant. Quanim pulls like he moves the sword, almost flicking it to his side, and you just see the head go flying off into the darkness as strands of blood go shooting from the neck stump. Quanim then looks over to where the pyromancer is and begins to walk out towards him. And then he takes the sword in both hands and he jumps the rest of the distance. The shadow is carrying him the full way. And the lowest I have there is going to be 4 plus 9, so 13, and then plus another 6 for my bardic inspiration. So 19.
Yep. That's enough for Korlag. He's not too hard to hit.
All right. And the other one I have is a 12. Does that hit a 2 or no?
That's actually just below.
Just below. All right. 1 second. All right. So that's going to be a total of 14 points of damage to Korlag as the sword just comes down across his shoulder.
All right, and he already took a pretty big hit at the start of the fight, so that will actually kill him as well.
But I'm just going to go ahead and say that when it hits his shoulder, he steps forward as he's trying to cast another spell, and the blade just sinks in down to where his heart is and splits his heart as it comes out of his chest.
Absolutely, and you see like the fire well up in his eyes as he goes to cast this magic, and it just fades like a fire going out as the life leaves his eyes as well. And then all is quiet as there's just this funeral pyre up on the hill, just sending plumes of smoke into the sky. As the fire fades away, the magic from it, some of the grass is still ablaze, but other than that, everyone is dead with the exception of Jonas, who is unconscious inside the darkness.
Korth is going to like wipe the blood off his spear on the body of the smith, and then he'll like basically drop it and it'll vanish. He's going to walk over towards he'll drop the darkness as well that had been up. He's going to walk over towards that and find the cowardly creature that he had knocked unconscious.
Quanim
Yell
turns.
stomps out the remnants of the fire. Oh, sorry.
I was going to talk to you anyway. I was going to say Quanim kind of motions vaguely for Zamiel to put out that giant fire that's blazing right beside them.
If I can't put it out with my foot, I'm just gonna make it rain. Am I gonna need to make it rain in order to put out the fire? Is it too much?
Yeah, the actual wall itself has gone. There's some of the grass is still smoldering in the area, but it'd be
I'll just stomp
easy
it out.
enough to kick it off. Yeah.
Korth will say to Quanim, "It is a good thing that we brought the mistress along. A lot of help. Are you badly wounded?"
Significantly, and then he looks over to where Elric, the fuck he was, and he kind of taps the headless body with his sword, and he says, "This one, blessed sword. This one," he points to the pyromancer, "angel fire."
Unfortunate. I kept one alive. I thought we'd perhaps lure the angel to us.
We can try.
Yeah, let me tend to those wounds.
What was that, Zamiel? I couldn't make it out.
I said, here, lemons.
He had lemons. Is that what you're saying?
You're cutting out really badly
Oh.
right now, Samuel. I think you're better now.
Okay, better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me tend to those wounds.
Yeah. He kind of grunts when you say that. He sheaths his sword and lets you do what you do. And then he looks over towards where the craven is and he says, I could command him to pray and we could blood angel him and I could get him drunk so he can live a little bit longer. But it's very hard for us to summon an angel with just one body.
You're right, but his suffering will add to the overall.
You're right. I say this. I say, well, my rope has been burned away. Do you still have your ropes?
I do.
All right. We flay a few of his limbs, perhaps his toes, actually. That usually hurts the most. We castrate him. I heal him enough so he doesn't bleed out, and I command him to pray as we drag him into the town. Yes?
Perfect.
Either that or you could just pull off his fingernails.
No, pulling off
That
fingernails not
works
enough.
quite easily enough.
It hurts, but when you flay them, the flesh, it gets infected, it gets crusty. The bugs get in as we drag him to the town. It hurts a lot more. I know from experience. Mistress! And he calls down to where Slytherin Way is, and he beckons for her to come over him.
She kind of gets up lazily, puts her loot back. She was just kind of hanging up there, the dusk that's finally starting to set, and kind of heads down and says, I see you've kept one alive and have fantastic plans for him. I'd
Yes.
expect nothing less. It was a pleasure to watch you fight, my Queen, as usual.
Mistress, I know that you are in charge of this mission and that you believe it to be amusing to watch us fight, but if you do not engage yourself fully in the battle with the angel, then I will kill you myself.
She kind of laughs and says, do not worry for that. I'm different from these puny humanlings. You do not need the help of a matron for this nonsense.
No, but your lack of action has led to Quinine becoming badly wounded.
Did not anticipate their power. Apologize for that. But I was not entirely lacking action. I did help in ways that you did not necessarily see or understand.
Spits on the ground.
She
Quanine,
smiles mysteriously.
Quanine, tired as all hell right now from the fact that the glittering angel fire burning in his ribs is draining the life out of him. He holds out his hand to Slytherin for her to give him her flaying knife.
And she kind of unbuckles it and hands it over.
All right. He will take the knife. He'll have Karth basically tie this man's hands as he does this. And he's going to start flaying this craven's toes, Jeff. Which I'm assuming will wake him up.
Yes, absolutely. Once the knife begins to puncture his skin, he'll immediately kind of jerk back into reality, confused, terrified, and just shrieking in pain. Just these wails.
Once the toes are done, his hands bloody. He hands the knife back to Slytherin, hilt first. He looks to this craven. He slaps him in the face once. I'm assuming that doesn't quiet him down.
No, he'll let out another squeal of pain as you hit him, but he's just like whimpering and cowering and just nearly just screaming in fear.
Quiet. Listen before I have to take your teeth out too. Do you remember your prayers?
What are you talking
It's
about?
a yes or no question, and every time you don't answer me, I will flay another finger from your body. Do you remember your prayer? Okay.
Yes, I remember them. Yes, I remember them.
Look at me, man. And he kicks the head by the back of the hair, and he pulls his body upwards until like only a few inches apart. And he says to him very carefully, say every prayer that you know. Start with the short ones and then build up to the longer ones. It'll make the pain go away a little bit. I just keep saying the prayers. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Here, drink this. And he takes his flask. He takes the cork out with his mouth, and he kind of pries open the craven's mouth and starts pouring this angelic blood mixed wine into his mouth. And then he's going to recork the flask, and then he's going to hand off the reins, the leash of this guy to the mistress, figuring that she would enjoy dragging him to the town because it would hurt him a lot more, and she's into that shit.
Yeah, as you do that, after he like forcefully swallows this wine that you just pour into his throat, he'll kind of cough, spit some of it back up, but swallow most of it, and then just like start muttering. I just, Blessed One, give me the strength and wisdom, and just like start just basically mumbling and muttering these prayers that you've commanded him under threat to begin saying.
Fantastic. This will begin the summons. I would still prefer to kill all of this man's companions while we're up here. Night is falling. This is our time to shine. And she starts to make her way from wherever this little clearing campfire spot, just dragging this guy behind by his hair towards the village.
As she does so, Quanim looks at Karth, and he indicates his ribs again, and he says, "The fire won't stop burning at this rate for another 2 days, so do keep in mind, Karth, that the moment the angel starts singing magic, more than likely I will either die or be close to it."
I'll kill you before you turn to its service.
He nods at that, the nod being a mixture of a thank you and a as expected, and then he will start slowly walking behind the rest of the party.
And as you go forwards, just dragging this miserable craven beast along the ground, every small bump sends another whimper of pain and desperation. But outside of that, he'll continue following Quanim's commands, just whispering these prayers to his angel, hoping to be delivered from this evil that's befallen him. It's not too much.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, if you have something to do before we move on, then now is the time.
No, I was just going to say, Cytherine's plan is to basically drag this guy. She's hoping to catch these guys at their evening mass, or if they have that kind of gathering. She would maybe ask him about it. But basically to make a grand entry, and I think she thinks that like slaughtering everyone within the Church of the Angel, where like he's probably paying closer attention and looking more often at that church, especially during mass where they're trying to communicate with that angel, that doing that like at that time will be sure to attract it. And so that's kind of her plan that she's got in her head. She's going to try to drag this guy. I mean, if it's like 1 hour after dark, she might even like stop and wait and like take a short rest or something while they're waiting, and basically try to kick open the door to the church that these guys have and slaughter everybody during the mass.
And Zemiel is rolling his eyes at the screams. He finds it very annoying because he hates loud, shrill screams. And he's like, in his head, he is thinking, so much for the stealthy approach, Jesus. Or whatever god we pray to.
So we will be certain to wait until it's actually dark. There's no way that Korth would allow this to begin if it wasn't dark. I'm not fighting an angel in the sunlight.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely. So yeah, as you guys continue towards the location of this group of followers, you'd easily be able to wait out the last hour or two until night had completely fallen. As you get closer, you see what could hardly be described as a village. There's a couple of wooden shacks, but there is one building. It's just this large chapel. Uh, it's mostly run down. You can see like cracks, breaks in the stone. Uh, the wood on the doors is barely holding itself together. You can see that this building is very old and not very well maintained. Um, but it seems to be the most obvious location that these people would be gathered.
Zamiel will make the comment that I'm going to sneak in through a window. You can make whatever approach you like, but I think I need a little more stealth for my plan.
The town is made of this wood that they use here, flimsy building material. It is flammable. It would not be quicker and more efficient and more agonizing for them to simply burn everything.
Why not both?
We need to do three things. Burn everything that's not that bigger holy building, the chapel. Let them run to there. We need to have the mistress wait outside the town for when people come running out, and to help from a distance when the angel comes. There will be people coming out to fight us as we burn. I suggest that you, Karth, handle the burning, and I do the third part, where I stand in the middle of the town, yell drunken obscenities at everyone, and then those who have weapons come to fight me.
Agreed.
Zamiel, you go into the church as you said you did, through the window. You ambush the ones there. If there are children, do not kill them. Leave them alive to torture them, because children will pray the most. Do you understand me?
I'll try to keep at least one alive.
If you see a mother with young children, kill the youngest child. Remember this.
I am pretty stealthy myself. I will accompany you on to the main church. I have a trick up my sleeve that I'm eager to try.
Knowing that the mistress will always... Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Zamiel simply nods and he turns into a raven and flies away.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and cast Greater Invisibility.
Mistress, who will bring the man with us? Who will bring them into the church?
I'll take the man. And I'll have...
Who will bring the what? Sorry.
The man.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
The man.
We have no need for him. Kill him.
No. Give me the ropes, if you would, mistress.
All yours. And she just hands them on.
He
mass
looks
hysteria has begun. Then we apply your plan.
Knowing the mistress will always do what the
I like
mistress
it a
says. He looks to Karth, and he kind of just shakes his head and is going to he's going to say to Karth, since she's going to the church, if they run into the forest, Karth, you can hunt them easily, yes?
I will find them.
All right. And with that, he's going to kind of pull the Craven to him. He's going to pick him up by the rope, so that way he's almost eye level. He's going to ask the Craven, what is your name?
I'm Jonas.
Jonas. Thank you. And he's going to drag Jonas and carrying him a little bit higher than normal. So particularly his toes that are flayed are kind of dancing on the rocks to maximize the pain. And he's going to lead Jonas out into the center of this town.
I will begin setting fire to the base of the buildings or the roofs if they're thatched.
And is there any open windows to the church?
The windows are mostly closed, but some of the windows have been smashed out and never repaired. So some of them do have openings.
Right. And I'm going to land around of one of the broken windows, and what do I see inside?
So inside, you see there's like rows of really held together pews and benches. Some of them have even collapsed and broken. But there's a couple people scattered out. Some of them in like a sacred attire. Some of them are just people, just kind of sat around, kind of talking to each other.
All right, I am going to fly over to around the front where the altar is, and I am going to transform into myself in order to cast.
All right.
Actually, no. Cloud kill. And I believe that's a constant.
There's no one in the church yet, though, right?
There are a couple people.
I thought the church was full.
We haven't set fire to everything yet, so we haven't filled the church up yet.
Yeah, the idea is that we set fire to the buildings, people panic, they run to the stone building, which is the church, and then when they're all in there, then we can do something. But we have to create the panic first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Then
Stick with that.
the crow is just gonna fly around the rafters and kind of just watch.
Same thing. I'm invisible inside the church.
Perfect. Outside, Karth, as you begin to set fire to the buildings, it begins to be a panic that begins to rise up. Doors spring open, people running out and looking around.
I'll try and make that worse by like speaking in Drow, this like sibilant but also worryingly dark sort of speech, telling them that the end is coming, the demons have come.
And as he's doing that, as that chanting kind of like back shadows everything, he throws Jonas to the ground, takes a javelin and shoves it through one of his legs, being careful to avoid an arrow, but just to really keep him there. And so Jonas starts screaming, and he is going to look at the people running out and kind of spread his arms to his side and see who's going to do something about it first.
So yeah, the idea is like the fighting people or the people who are like good at whatever are going to come to you, and all the people who are like helpless and innocent are going to go hang out in the church, right? To avoid burning.
Yeah, that would be the plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's good.
Most of the people just immediately begin running. A good chunk of them start running towards the church, but some are going to attempt to flee, just run away entirely.
Well, I'll make a point to catch those people. I'm like alarmingly quick, and I'm able to cast Eldritch Blast infinitely if I need to. So I feel that I can blast down anyone who tries to run into the woods. I'm happy to roll as well if there's individuals, but like I think we can like narrative say that he'd be able to murder peasants.
Yeah, we don't even need to roll. Most of these people are like just meager, just human beings, no skills, poor upbringing. You could easily just start blasting people down, which only adds to the chaos. And as people start to notice that people who flee get just blasted down by this evil magic, that only influences even more people to start running towards the church. As the chapel doors open, crowds just piling into it. Those who aren't cut down by the Eldritch Blasts, those who don't try to flee. A man will walk out of the church, squeezing through crowds, just pushing people aside, knocking even a couple people down. He's dressed in like these like metal plates that cover most of his body, but he has like patches of leather and mail as well.
Does he seem like a pretty important guy?
I mean, he has armor and he has a weapon, so clearly he's not a peasant. But he's not necessarily dressed like some sort of super high up figure.
Huh. All right,
Um,
I'm gonna try something as this is happening. So I'm inside I'm basically like hiding in a corner of the church, and as this guy's like making his way out, and there's like all these people sort of running into the church, I'm gonna cast mass suggestion, and that can affect up to 12 people. And I'm going to say, like with a voice that's booming out of nowhere because I'm invisible, your leader has summoned demons and betrayed the faith. I, your angel, command you to attack him and kill him now. I try to get 12 of these people that are in the range of the spell to basically start attacking this guy. And so they get a saving throw. The DC is 17. And it can affect up to 12 creatures.
Right, so as this voice booms out, you hear another yell from further down into the chapel. Do not believe this demon's lies. They try to trick you. And you can see that a lot of the people within the range of the spell, some of them do begin to get violent and try to push their way forward. But it affects only about 5 of them. The rest succeeded their saves. And the armored man ignores this voice as he continues outside.
As he walks outside, imagine everyone else pretty much ran to the church, right, Jeff?
Yeah, there's still some straggling people, but for the most part, people have gone.
Quanin turns, his bald head looking at this man, and he smiles, and he grabs the javelin inside of the Craven's leg, and he kind of twists it around again, and he says, well, for a while, I thought no one was coming to save you, but looks like someone stepped up. What's his name? And I imagine like he looks down to Jonas to see like Jonas like unconscious now just from the pain and the bleeding out and everything.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he kind of he sighs to himself, drinks from his flask, and draws his longsword and pulls the shield off of his back, and then places the helm, which he hadn't put on before, firmly on his head. The helm looks fairly basic, except for the top of it, in which you can see that blood red angel feathers are on both sides in thick bundles. And he kind of just takes a step forward towards this knight, and he points the sword at his chest, and he asks him plainly, your name, give it.
I will not speak with beasts like you. He just readies his sword.
Ooh, I like that energy, my friend. Karth, let me have this one, will you? And he knows he's basically like speaking out into like the shadows and the fire, hoping to hear an answer from some part of it.
All yours.
Thank you. And he takes a stance and he begins to inch forward towards the snipe.
Zemiel is going to cast Cloud Kill around the back of the church to kind of make them go forward where there's no exit.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get inside the church here in just a second.
Sure.
But that'll definitely happen. Quanim, if you want to, just roll me an initiative real quick.
Yeah.
For this face down.
I got a 14.
Alrighty, so you will act first.
Bet, that's what I like to hear. Quanin, he takes the initiative. He's like a panther who's coiled and ready to strike, and he jumps forward with his sword out. It's going to lash out twice As it does so, you're going to see it kind of explode from that same angelic power that's cloaking his helm as he casts Blinding Smite, a third-level spell on it. The blade begins to ooze blackness and ichor into the night sky. The fires all turn black around him. The smoke is actually turning and coiling around him like tendrils, forming a cape behind him. And is going to make these 2 attacks on this guy. Let's see here. 2d20 plus 9. All right. So I have a 17 plus 9 and a 3 plus 9. For that 3, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity, which is Guiding Strike, which adds a plus 10 to it. So the lowest I have then is a 26, which I assume hits.
Yeah, you're looking for 16, so that'll easily
Looking
hit.
for 16? Oh, bet. Okay, say no more. So in addition to my Blinding Smite, I'm going to be spending on both of these a second level spell slot to make them into normal smites. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate that damage real quick because a lot of dice I have to roll. But what it's going to look like is going to look like one single just black blade just digging into this guy's armor and then exploding outwards. It's going to make 2 concentration saving throws, DC 16.
He will fail 1, pass 1.
All right, so this is what matters if he fails 1. He's now blinded until he passes a saving throw at the end of his next turn, continuing for a minute.
Awesome. And where are we at for damage?
1 second, I'm rolling that right now. So that's 2 hits on that. You can go ahead and do his turn as well as I go ahead and I add all this up. It's 38. And then let me do my blinding smite. I should have did all this beforehand, but I think I was going to hit everything. All right, so it's going to be a total of 38 points of damage.
Jesus.
Sorry, excuse me. 2 more d8 to that. I forgot to add. All right. That's going to be a total of 48 points of damage.
That'll actually kill him.
Bet. That's what I like to hear. So as he pulls the sword back, he thrusts it again, and the guy's body will just go flying with this burst of black light in front of it, propelled directly into the church, just so terror amongst the people inside of it as a champion goes flying inside.
As this knight's body is just thrown into the doorway of the church, just screams just fill the building. It's just complete panic sets in, and as this cloud of gas begins to pour in, where exactly are you using this from? Zaniel?
I'm casting it from the rafters. I've turned into a regular drow again, and I'm just sitting up there. And I cast it down below, and that's kind of where the entrance is, and it's going to be moving away towards the altar. So they're going to have to get back as this yellow-green gas starts filling the entrance. And it's a con save.
All right, yeah, as the cloud begins to go down into the doorway, most people just drop dead immediately, though some people outside of the range will continue to crowd backwards into the church. There's probably about a dozen people just fall dead, just joking.
Yeah, I'm just sitting up in the rafters, kind of watching. Are there any children in there?
Yeah. There's just a decent amalgam of different people.
Yeah, I'm just
Some of them
gonna
have already
watch.
begun choking on the poison.
I'm just gonna watch the cloud slowly move closer and closer towards them, and see if anything happens. But it moves really slow. It only moves like 10 feet around.
And as this is happening, suddenly from back towards the back of the church, you see a flash of light, and there's a man dressed in these like elaborate robes. And he holds his hands up, and there's like a flash of light. And he yells, "This demon magic will not stand here. Be gone from this place." And there's this like blasts of wind that rushes through as if from nowhere. And the cloud is just dispersed. You can hear shouts of terror, but people have begun to congregate back towards this man who's now like walking forward from the back of the room.
Awesome.
It's come.
Mass suggestion
children.
lasts 24 hours or so. Are the people that failed their save like attacking this guy?
They're trying to push through the crowd, but they're meeting a lot of resistance, as there's probably a good couple dozen people here.
Okay. I was just hoping to like create some panic. Like if they were trying to attack him, then other people would attack them, and it would be like they would be like fighting each other.
Yeah,
I
I mean
don't know
that's
if
absolutely
that's-
what's happening. It's just more like commoners are fighting commoners at this point. They don't quite have enough
Right.
line to get all the way towards this guy.
Cool.
And Karth and Quanim, what are you guys up to?
Quanim calls to Karth to come back out from the shadows.
Yeah, he'd step out of a shadow, probably a lot closer than you would have expected. Literally stepping out of it like it's a door. Yes.
All right, so I can already tell from the sounds inside the church that neither one of them are doing what we really need them to do. How do you propose we fix this?
Well, we need to get the children. If they are not doing that, then we should go and take care of it. Let the mistress do whatever she wants. There's not going to be anything we can do to stop her beyond taking her head off her shoulders, and that might get us in trouble when we go home. So I would suggest that you and I go in there, take whatever children we can find, and come out here where it's nice and quiet, and begin a ritual.
Perfect. At that, he takes another. He goes to drink from his flask again. He sees it as empty. He throws it to the side, adjusts his helm. He sheaths his longsword and is going to let Karth lead the way into the church from the back. And I guess they're going to start looking for children to abduct.
Yes.
Yeah, in the chaos that's happens, the complete mass chaos. Would be how strong you guys are. Just start grabbing a couple people, like 2 or 3 each.
Yeah, I would just like push my way into the room and begin like pushing people out of my way or slashing at them with my spear if necessary. And then just whenever I find someone I think fits the criteria of a child, I would just grab them by the neck or by the hair and just like throw them back towards the door until I had maybe 8.
I would do the same. Oh, go ahead.
Seeing what they're doing, I would like to conjure animals, and I'm going to conjure 4 giant bats to start picking up children. And I'm going to hop onto one of their backs and fly out with them.
As she does that, seeing that now we have giant bouts helping us, is going to let them handle the children. He's going to start saying to the crowd and to this priestly figure, now, everybody listen here. If you want to fight back, do it now. If you want to fight for your children, do it now. Otherwise, start praying, because soon you won't be praying any longer. And what he wants to do, Jeff, is just trying to incite the people to, A, of course, start praying, but he also wants the attention of that priestly figure.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, like most of the people who are outside of the range of the carnage have just basically like collapsed onto the ground. They're like whispering and muttering. But you absolutely do capture the attention of this man. He begins pushing his way through the crowd.
And Quanine won't
His voice.
move. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Quanine won't move. He's gonna let him come, and as he's coming, he's going to start asking him as he gets closer. Your name, man. Give me your name. The last one didn't do it, and now he can't.
I am Pontiff Veronas. I am Church.
Pontiff. I assume in your angel religion that's pretty high up there, is it not?
As I said, I preside over these people here.
He looks around at the crowds of people who like on like their knees and their hands and praying and everything. I guess imagine gives like a straight like direct line of vision to each other. He sees one woman. He kind of with his armored boot, he kind of kicks her over real quick, and she kind of squeals, and he says, "These people aren't worth very much, are they?"
Everyone is worth much.
Well,
It's not for you
There's
or
a
I to
laugh from-
decide what
A
lives are
laugh from
worth.
Carth at the back of the church as he says that.
my friend seems to disagree with you. You said you were a pontiff, and these people here, are there any of them who are particularly devout?
I am as devout as you'll find. If you need quarrel with anybody, let it be with me.
No, no, my quarrel is with everyone in this village. There's a very pretty woman watching us right now. You can't see her, but I know she's here, and she won't she won't be very happy if I just let people walk away now, will she? He looks to another man, an older man, a man who's perhaps missing a leg. He walks over to him and he says, "You, what do? You're a smith? You make things?"
He just looks down. He keeps looking down at the ground. He keeps muttering just this like one line prayer just over and over and over and over again.
A javelin goes to the back of his throat. I don't like it when people don't answer me. And he looks to the pontiff as he says that.
Growls, just anger, seething.
No, 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 no. Don't get too mad now, pontiff. If you raise your voice or start murdering some more spells, more of your people are going to die. We're already dragging your children outside, but if you're nice, they may live. Now, I'm going to ask you more questions. I will kill people when you don't answer my questions or when they don't answer my questions. Are we clear on that? And what he's doing is a very clear form of psychological torture to this guy, which is just basically adding to the suffering of the ritual that's going on outside.
Garth would have taken the children out in the front, and he would have taken the butt of his spear and broken the knees so that they can't run away.
And the bats are kind of surrounding, kind of watching, and occasionally nipping at them if they get too feisty. Or sometimes. Oh.
Sorry, Garth would find, take the rope that he had, or failing that, pick up nails and begin hammering their hands into the wooden parts of the church so that they're hanging face against the stone, and begin this blood angel ritual where he would like begin carving into the back, breaking ribs and tearing out ribs and lungs, giving them wings.
Jesus.
I imagine the screams are pretty like loud and echoing inside of the church as well. And Quanim is just watching the pontiff, waiting to see what he does before we ask him another question.
Yeah. Please, well, whatever questions you have, whatever you want. This suffering.
What's the name of the angel that you worship?
I don't know.
He kills another man, this time a younger woman, just hitting puberty, about to enter her prime.
I don't know. I'm not lying.
So where did you and your friends get the power to sling these holy flames? We met some pyromancers. Your man Jonas and his boys. Jonas is right outside, you see. We met them about a mile away, and they could do some pretty dastardly tricks, if I do say so myself.
Yes, power. It was given to us and to them by the angel.
And did this angel appear? Did it show up?
Yes, I've seen him.
You've seen him, but you didn't tell me what you saw. He kills another man, this time an old man, a man who was lucky to live this long. He's in his 60s or 70s.
He was like he looked like a person, but much taller. Like the most that you've ever seen. Like it's like
Could
a
he-
human, but perfect.
Perfect. Perfect and human, my friend, are oxymorons, but I digress. Koth, have you finished?
Almost.
Right. Good. This is the time to do it. Pontiff, get all these nice men and women up to their feet and come with me outside, if you would. And he exits the church, leading them outside to see the beautiful masterwork that Karth has wrought.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there's
the
eight children have been nailed to the church. 8 sets of ribs cracked and broken from the back and pulled out to create this grisly display of wings. The spear is like positively like thrumming in Karth's hand. It's so pleased with his work.
Cytherine has slipped outside the church as well to just kind of hang out. And I assume the church is like in front of a main square or something. So there's like a clearing in front of it. And so she's just kind of hanging out there. The invisibility actually only lasts for a minute. So she's probably visible at this point, just kind of back against the wall, arms crossed, smile on her face. But mostly she's actually keeping a lookout around. Like she assumes this angel is probably going to show up from the sky when it does. And it's probably going to be pretty soon. And so at this point, she's kind of looking around up towards the sky in anticipation, keeping an eye out for when it does appear.
If any particular people react to the children hung on the wall, like possibly parents or other relatives, bats are going to swoop down and rip them apart in front of the children.
Yeah, and as the pontiff kind of takes the people out following your requests, hoping to quell the bloodshed, though it's unlikely that that'll work. People would absolutely, upon seeing this sight, just like some people just faint immediately. Like some people just let out these like just shrill screams into the night. As you can see, like parts of the crowd just begin to stop cold upon seeing this.
Pray. Pray for the deliverance of your pathetic spawn. Pray for vengeance. Pray that this false god of yours will appear.
And the people, like most of them, like just immediately fall to their knees. The couple stragglers who don't just soon give in behind them as well, until they're just the whole crowd of people are all on their hands and knees.
As they're praying, is the pontiff praying as well?
Yes, the pontiff is praying as well, though he is still standing, and his eyes are still open as he looks
Quanim walks
towards.
to him. Quanim draws his long sword. He's not threatening with it. He raises the long sword, and the tip of it will touch the pontiff's chin. And he looks him dead in his eye. He says nothing. The red eyes of the Drow, known as the Sin of Knights, a twisted play on how chivalrous and holy those of the surface are, just bore into this man's skull. And he says to him thusly, I will let the rest of these people go. I swear it on my own oath as a servant of the Nine Mother. I will let them go if you walk forward and shove your neck into the point of my blade. And he's not lying. He won't make a deception check or anything. He's telling the truth about letting the rest of these people go. Because he knows if they see him kill himself and nothing good comes from it, that would be like the straw that would break the camel's back.
The pontiff glances like upwards. His eyes move up towards the sky. He just whispers, like only you, Quanim, would be able to hear it. It's barely even a sound. Please, guide your children. Get them away. And then he'll just fall forwards onto the blade.
I made no such oath, and I'll begin firing Eldritch Blast into the crowd.
Same. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Hypnotic Pattern on the crowd, and I'd like you to like swivel the spear around so like his eyes are looking back at the crowd, and as in his dying moments as he goes down, he kind of chokes up and he just sees like a weird shimmer appear in the area where the basically the whole crowd is gathered, and they're all just freeze. They're stunned. As long as if they fail a DC 17 save, and none of them can move at all, and just Eldritch Blasts go firing into the crowd, and they can't even run or do anything. They're just stuck there being slaughtered.
Your pontiff died for no reason. There is no reason except our hate.
The bats are licking the blood off of the children as they're screaming. And Zemiel is just kind of watching, curious, waiting, listening, just being perceptive.
Quanim's ears twitch, and he turns his head slightly.
Yeah, as the blood of the pontiff just runs down the sword, his neck just impaled through. You'd see the clouds in the sky begin to grow thicker and darker. A crackle of lightning shoots across and spiders over the sky. And then as the pontiff falls down just slides down the sword all the way, whether you kick him off or not, as he dies, there's a huge thunderclap that rings out through the sky. A bolt of lightning strikes just behind you. And there's a voice that rings out through the sky like nothing that you've ever heard. What is the meaning of this, foul creatures? And as you turn back to see, it looks like a man. He's probably like 7.5 feet tall, closing towards 8. This huge frame, just the immaculate form, like one of the most beautiful creatures that you've ever seen. Even as a drow, you can appreciate some element of this exquisitely like handsome and beautiful man. He's covered in like this gleaming silver armor with this long hair.
If you had come sooner, you might have spared your people. You are late for the party, as we say down in the Underdark. Now, if we kill you, everyone is dead, including you. If you kill us, Your precious worshippers are still gone. Fear.
Worshippers are easily replaced.
See how much your
party-
god cares for you. And she kind of looks around at the remaining living, and it kind of smiles.
That man, however, is not quite as easily replaced.
Quanin pulls his sword out, lets the body fall to his feet, and he says, Karth.
Karth is like looking at it, sort of transfixed by it. But when he hears his name, it like shakes him out his reverie, and he's going to begin casting a spell.
All right, we're going to roll initiative then.
Do you want me to roll for the bats in the groups, or you just want them to take their turn on my turn?
They'll act on your turn.
All right. And there's actually 8 of them. I misread my spell thing.
So as you begin casting this spell, the angel moves with a remarkable speed. And before you can even finish your words, it's already in motion. Towards you, Quanim, there's a flash of light, and in its hands is a large sword engraved with all these strange symbols. And within the blink of an eye, it's already upon you.
AC right now is 20 for future reference.
Yeah, so it goes to take a swing at you. The first one, the sword just smashes into the ground. A cloud of dust flies up, and stone goes flying as it slams into the ground. The second attack with this remarkable speed comes slashing back at you. The tip of the blade catches you across the chest, and you will take. That is going to be 11 slashing and 4 radiant. As this blade cuts through you.
I imagine Quanin is stepping back. Why does the angel's like moving forward? That second slash, while he's basically just grazing his chest, and you just see blood and shadow come freeing from the Drow's torso as this light just kind of rakes across him.
And the angel will just grin right into your face, Quanim, as it sees the blood. You will pay for what you've done tonight. Cytherine.
And says, Quanin, Karth, down. And she clenches her hand like this, and she's casting Hold Monster on it, and hopefully going to try to paralyze it. So DC 17 Wisdom saving throw.
Its head darts over towards you, Cytherine, and just scoffs.
Fuck. In that case, I will also go ahead and give a bardic inspiration to Quanine. She's gonna take some cover. She's gonna like hide behind a building or something, and that's it.
Awesome. Karth.
So I'm going to finish that spell. The angel has already acted and moved, but by the time that I finish the chanting, I'm going to cast Blink on myself, which is one of my Hexblade super spells. Basically, at the end of each of my turns, I roll a d20, and on 11 or higher, I go into the ethereal plane until the start of my next turn. So that's what I'll do with my action. My bonus action, I'm going to look at this thing, and I'm going to curse it to death and despair with my Hexblade's curse, which means that for 1 minute I have bonus damage equal to my proficiency bonus against it. I can crit it on a 19, and if it dies, I regain hit points. And then at the end of my turn, I'll roll my dice. It's 14. I'm in the ethereal plane.
Awesome. Yeah, as this curse is muttered over it, it looks over towards you and then sees just this as you vanish. It just gives this confused side eye towards you, back towards Quanime in his face. Zamiel, you're up.
I am going to send all 8 bats flying towards the angel to fly in for a bite. Just out of curiosity, is it like immune to piercing damage? Or would it be magical considering I conjured them?
It would not be, the bat's attacks would not be considered magical.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and attack. So I'm just gonna go with the average. Let's see, +4 to hit. 19. 22. 12. And a 22. 15. And let's see, that is 13. 9. Do the 22s hit?
Yes. Yeah, you're looking for 17.
Okay, so that's gonna be 20 piercing damage.
Yeah, as these bats fly around taking bites at it, it doesn't even react. It doesn't even wince or move. It just keeps its eyes gazed towards Quanime, locked with him. You can feel just this burning, piercing stare. Quanime, as it looks at you. Do you have anything else, Zamiel?
I am going to cast Healing Word on Quanine. And that's going to be at a level 4. Healing Word. Okay, so that's going to be 4d4. 4d4 plus 8. 5, 13, 16 HP back to you, Quanine.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And that's all I can do.
Awesome. That'll bring us to Quanime then.
Quanine takes a step back. He looks to the angel. Go ahead, y'all.
It's me. Oh, I got scared. Oh no, sorry, my bad.
Okay. All right. So He takes a step. Actually, did we skip Alex? Or did Alex go? Well, I'm not listening.
Everyone's
Okay,
good.
my bad.
I went.
All right. Kanim steps back. He looks to the angel. He asks it, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" He raises his shield. The camera goes to the blood angel children. You see the cracked rib cages begin to twitch. And then the bones are pulled out of their spines, all of them from all of the children. They go flying towards Quanim, and they assemble right above his sword hand another blade made of the bloody corpses that they once were. He has cast his spiritual weapon. This is his spiritual weapon. He strikes forward, the blade moving perpendicular to his own body. When he strikes high, it strikes low. When he strikes from the left, it strikes from the right. He's going all out on this angel, using every bit of training that he has. Since you said the 17 hits, that was the lowest I rolled, was a 17. So it's taking 42 points of damage on this turn as he just goes all out trying to tear it to pieces.
Perfect. Yeah, and as these just slashes just rip into it, kind of gives a frown. He looks down at these weapons. Interesting. It's been a while since I've felt pain. No matter. It's still no match. He brings this massive sword up in his hands. He brings it, points it face down. He slams it down into the ground. The sword just pierces down, stabbing into the earth. And it begins to glow. And there's just this blast, just of holy light that radiates off of him in a sphere.
I cast Counterspell.
Okay, go ahead and make the check.
All right, come on. That's good. The check is what's the check again?
You're just add your spell modifier to the roll.
My 2-hit modifier?
Your spell hit modifier.
Yeah, you 2-hit modifier for the spell.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be 24.
What does that look like then?
So yeah, the spell kind of the divine energy kind of radiates outward for just like a few seconds, and she kind of twists her head around and snaps her fingers towards the angel, and it's like almost like a wave of dark. The divine energy just gets absorbed into a well of darkness. Just boom, it goes out from him a little bit, and it's his body, and just instantly getting absorbed into like a ring of dark that goes around him, and just fizzles out into nothing.
The angel frowns. Interesting. You have more abilities than I gave you credit for. No matter. You'll still die all the same. He pulls the sword back out of the ground. The crunch. Cytherine, you're up.
Right. Still kind of poking her head out from behind a building. She's going to raise her hand and mutter a few words of incantation, and you see the metal from this guy. I assume is wearing plate armor.
Yes.
So his metal armor starts to glow. It's already white, but it turns like a sort of red hue to it as I'm casting heat metal at 5th level. Angel's armor. And so that's going to be 26 points of heat damage or fire damage. So yeah, any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage, but I'm casting it at 5th level, so that's 5d8. If a creature holding or wearing the object takes damage from it and does not drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. So until the start of my next turn, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Perfect.
And then I'll also go ahead and shoot a Bardic Inspiration over to Karth.
He's actually in the ethereal plane right now, so I'm not sure that you can.
I can't be affected by anything on this plane.
Over at Zamiel, then. So you and Quanim are both inspired. And that's it. That's my turn. I duck back behind them. Well, I kind of not all the way behind the building. I keep a line of sight on the angel, but I take cover.
Perfect. Karth.
Okay, so like before, he just steps out of nowhere. Like a door opens, except it doesn't. He just like begins to materialize. I can appear within 10 feet of where I was previously. Could I get into contact with the angel?
Yeah.
Yep. So they'll do that. And I'm going to attack the crap out of it. Okay, so that one's a 26. And that's a 19, which is a crit with my... Oh, man. Oh. I'm going to have to do maths. Sorry. Okay, so the first is going to be... first is going to be 23 for the normal attack. I am going to smite on my crit using my Cursebringer weapon. So it's going to be 2, 4... Going to be 47.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so he appears from the ethereal plane and just like brings his spear, his shadowy spear, like slashes it across the back of the angel, finding a gap in the armor and then thrusting it deep into it with his critical hit.
Awesome. That is a lot of damage. Jesus.
Whew.
Alrighty. Zamiel, you're up. I'm sorry, unless you had anything else, Karth.
I just got to roll for my etherealness.
Yes.
A 12. Yep, just make it.
Cool.
My bats are going to help carry me up to the top of the church. I'm going to stand up there. And I am going to call lightning, and this will make... And the angel is going to have to make a dexterity save.
So as you try to call this lightning, it would, while this is happening, it would look over towards Sitherine. And he would just raise his sword up into the air. The lightning would strike the blade. And nothing would happen. As he casts Counterspell.
Can I counterspell his counterspell?
I'm gonna say no.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
All right, well, that's all I can do.
Alrighty, and Quanim.
This fool of an angel looks away to counterspell Zamiel's spell. As he does so, Quanim looks towards the spiritual weapon that he's created. It turns completely black in color. You see wings begin to sprout from its hilt, and then it too swings down along with Quanim's own sword, which is again oozing that black ichor out into the world. He's smiting. They put all the numbers into the side chat, but for reference, the lowest I got to hit was a 22 on my 3 attacks, and that's 62 points of damage that I'm doing to this guy this turn, 27 of which are necrotic.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
As Quanim is doing this, his hatred for this angel is building up more and more again, and he's laughing out into the world. But it's a dark and twisted laugh. It sounds like you're actually like shadowing glass with every syllable of it. And I imagine as he's doing this, you would keep seeing like Karth like blinking back in and attacking, and then Quanim like attacking in the opening that creates, as they work kind of like an orchestrated duo between themselves to bring down this angel.
Beautiful. The angel actually lets out like a grunt from these assaults. The first time it's reacted to your strikes. Goes, fine. You want to see the true power of the angels? Then come, behold, you will face your doom. There's a loud thunderclap again. I need everybody except for Karth, since you are luckily on the ethereal plane, make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
If this is something that I can counterspell, I'm trying to.
This is not a spell. This is
All
not
right,
a spell.
then I will make my Constitution save. Go ahead and use luck, and I fail.
18.
There's a massive blinding light that fills the area. Your eyes are completely just white. And Zamiel and Sitherine, you feel the light start to come back, the world start to come back. Quanim, you're blinded. Unless you're using inspiration or oh, Jesus.
Well, okay, if I get the inspiration, then I have a 19 on my check.
I'll give it to you.
Bet. So that would cancel it out. So I rolled a 19.
Yes, and where this person once was, a person there is no longer. At least it's hardly a person. Shrouded in black robes, a golden halo above its head, has 6 arms and 12 wings. Its voice is shifted. It's no longer beautiful and immaculate. It's almost so past perfect that it's twisted. It holds a hand out towards you, Sitherine. There's a blast of light that emerges from its hand. It streaks towards you. Slams into you. You take 15 radiant damage. It looks over towards you, Zamiel, up on top of the church. Another blast. You'll take 14 radiant damage. And again towards you, Quanim. You'll take 12 radiant damage. As its hands move about, creating these strange sacred patterns in the sky, these beams just flying out, connecting towards you. You feel the burn, this strange piercing burn, as if it's burning your soul alongside your body. And it turns its head, and it looks right at you, Karth. Why don't you come join us as well, hiding in the shadows? Sithering.
So I failed that con save earlier. Am I blind right now? Is that the deal?
Oh, I thought you passed. Yeah,
I-
you're completely blind.
I used luck and I failed both my saves. It was DC 17.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So in that case, you're blind. You feel
And I
the
got hit in the face by a
blast
radiant
pressure.
thing while
Yes.
being blind. I did pass my concentration check on heat metal. And so if this thing is still wearing the armor, it takes 27 points of damage from that. And, well, being
It
blind.
actually does not have armor anymore.
Oh, it got rid of the armor?
Yeah, the armor's gone in the transformation.
Well, shoot. Really don't have much I can do if I can't see this guy. Okay. I am going to hide behind a house and try to get my vision back.
Is there a particular way you're attempting to get your vision back?
I eating. I'm rubbing my eyes and like trying to see if it goes away on its own.
As you rub your hands on your eyes, you feel them burn. You can still feel the heat sensation from the wave of radiant energy. And you are quite blind.
All right,
Still.
this thing, it doesn't seem like it's going away.
No.
All right, that's it. That's my turn for now. I have to figure something out.
It looks over towards you again. Another wave of another hand. You take another 10 radiant damage.
Okay, wait. I mean, I don't know if I explained this right, but I tried to say that I like ducked back behind a building, like out of line of sight from it, and like crouched down and do this.
It goes through the building.
It saw me in the ethereal plane.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It doesn't have to see me to do this.
It can see you. I'll just say that.
Okay. That makes sense. So for how much damage then?
10 radiant.
All right.
Karth.
Okay, I'll step out of the ethereal and try and smash this thing. I rolled to hit when I was still a person, so I don't know if I have to do anything different now.
No, AC is the same.
Okay, well then I got 2 hits and I did 46 points of damage from my 2 attacks.
Jesus. Yeah.
So I would like
Awesome.
step out and slash with the spear again, like thrusting, and like it would leave like these shadowy marks on the angel for a second. I'm gonna try go back into the ethereal. I feel like it can see me, but probably can't affect me there. So I'm gonna not give up on that. With a 16, so I'm back in there. So again, just like phoom, slash, phoom. Nightcrawler style. Bamf.
And as you appear and slash it and disappear, it just continues to, no matter. When all your friends are dead, your magic won't save you then. Another wave in another hand. Zamiel, you take 7 radiant damage as another blast. And then it will be your move.
Let's see. How far away is the mistress from me?
Probably you're up on the roof, maybe like 40 feet, we'll say.
Uh, I am going and call again. Another dexterity save for the angel, if it's gonna work.
It's gonna pass.
Okay, then it's half damage. Okay, so, 10, 11 damage. 11 lightning damage.
Yeah, as this bolt just strikes down onto it, it just smirks. It looks up at you. It doesn't say anything.
I'm going to hop down from the church to see if I can help the mistress then. On my next turn.
Alrighty, Quanim.
Quanim turns rapidly. He spins almost in place. As he does so, the smoke from the earlier fires begins to coil around him. He stops and his blade snaps outwards. He points towards the angel and the smoke bellows over this thing, attempting to feast on its eyes, to go into every orifice it can. The smoke clears. The fear spell did not work as intended, and he stares at the angel, kind of like sucks his teeth and he takes a step back and he says, I guess even in heaven, angels don't feel fear, do they? And I would end his turn because the spell failed.
The light has no reason to fear shadow. The light casts shadow away. Alright, I need everybody except for Karth. That blink spell is doing freaking God's work over there.
Oh my god.
To make a con save. So, in a blink, the angel is no longer in the middle of the plaza. It's up above the church, about 10 feet above its roof. And these pillars of light begin to rain down from the sky. Just these huge pillars just begin just slamming into the ground as it bombards holy energy down from the heavens. Quanim, Zamiel, you will succeed. Setharin, you will not. Those who fail will take 30 radiant damage. Those who succeed will take 15. As pillars of light just crash down into the earth. The angel is now floating atop the church above it. As we go down to Karth. Sitherine, apologies, Sitherine. Sitherine, you're still blind.
Yeah.
Another blast of holy energy just rained down from the ceiling like a ton of bricks being dropped on you.
Yeah. She's going to try to take shelter in one of these buildings, like just feel her way in and like try to get a wall or something to block line of sight between the angel and herself if she can.
Also, Zemiel is right by you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that because I'm blind.
Well, you might have heard me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really got nothing here, so yep, that's about it.
You stumble your way into a house. You hear its voice as if you were still outside and right next to it. You cannot hide. The light casts away all shadow, revealing all things. You hear the smashing of wood. Crack behind you, another blast crumbles through the wall. You hear it slam, you feel it slam into you. And take 8 radiant damage, Setharine. Karth.
Okay, so I can appear within 10 feet of where I was. How high is the roof on the church? Or like even the lip of the roof of the church?
It's not super tall. I'd say maybe like 15, 20 feet up.
Okay. So we'll get up there. I could cast another spell, but that would be my last one. Okay, I'll just appear on the ground and throw some Eldritch Blasts at it. I had pre-rolled for my attacks, but I thought it wouldn't be up in the air. Okay, so the lowest was a 16.
The 16 will not hit. Anything above that will.
Okay. And then I get a calculator. Hang on. I'm just bad at maths. So 33 force damage from my Eldritch Blast.
Awesome. Yeah, the blasts of force just crash into it. Again, it hardly seems like it even reacts to the blast.
Okay, and now we pray to the dark gods that I blink back. 13! Fuck yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I come out and I realize that it's no longer, well, I guess I can see it when I'm in the ethereal plane. And so I come out, the spear is gone, vanished to its demi-plane where I keep it, and I just fire 2 blasts, and I manage to connect.
Awesome. There's another wave of a hand as a blast strikes you, Quanim. You'll take 9 radiant damage. Setharine, you hear the voice. It's the angel, but this time it's not ringing out into the sky. It's inside your head. Those who bow may be healed. You can be saved, Dark One. You do not have to die and live in blindness and die a fool's death. Serve me and you can have a renewed body, a renewed spirit. You can be whole again.
Let me see. She says out loud. Grant me this, and I will consider your offer.
This is not an offer, it is a contract. If you agree, you must agree now.
Fine. Do it.
Perfect. There's Suddenly, Setharine, you
Okay.
see. Your eyes open. The world is before you. But it's not look the same. You look at these people cowering, the chaos, not with maliciousness and enjoyment of pain, but of the deep cries of a suffering people, people suffering at the hands of monsters, monsters that must be slain, like the demons they are. You have to help these people. You feel it deep in your heart. These people have to be saved. The only way to save them is to kill these monsters that are attacking them. Zamiel, you're up.
I was watching her and I was about to see if I could cure her blindness, but it looks like she can see now. I'm like, are you okay, mistress? And I'd like to make an insight check.
All right. She's gonna say, "I've never been better." And I'll make a deception check, I guess. 22. Yeah, 22.
Yeah, I only did a 14.
Yeah,
I'm
she
fine.
seems fine.
I'm good.
The blindness is finally worn off.
All right, good. Let's continue.
Heal
And
me. I'm wounded.
yes, of course. Let's see. I will cast Healing Word as a bonus action at a first level. And let's see, that is d4 plus 8. All right, you get 12 healing back. That is a bonus action, so I will also rush out and cast Mass Cure Wounds for my friends. And let's see.
Yeah, as Lloyd
Well,
points out in the
the
chat.
Healing Word is a bonus action.
Yeah, but by Raw, you can't cast 2 spells in a round unless one of them is a cantrip.
Oh, okay, then I'll just cast Mass Cure Wounds in general. Within range of me. My bad. Okay. Then 16, 8. Everyone gets 24 health back.
Everybody except for Karth, since he's gone, but I'm pretty sure he's also been gone for all of the parts that hurt. So
But that also includes myself, so yay. And that's all I can do.
perfect. So you all are healed by this magic. Quanim.
Okay, I already rolled in the chat. It's going to be a total of 31 points of damage to this guy, to the angel, as 2 javelins stab into 2 of its many arms or into 2 of its wings or whatever they can hit, along with a spiritual weapon flying up and then biting into the waist of this angel all at once. You will see Quanim sitting at the foot, at the foundation of this church. He has 3 more javelins stuck into the ground in front of him, and the sword is also stuck into the ground as well. And he's just staring at the angel, grabbing another javelin and begin the process all over again.
Perfect. So Angel just rips out the javelins, tosses them behind it, up onto the roof of the church. All of its hands extend outwards, away from its body, and the halo glows with a brilliant light. It says, "Enough of this." It points down a finger towards you, Quanim. I need you to make I believe it's dexterity saving throw.
I have a 9, so I fail.
Alrighty, this is gonna suck. Point the finger down towards you. The finger glows with a brilliant light. A streak of pure white energy flies towards you. The beam makes contact with your chest. You feel your entire being being ripped apart as you take 75 force damage.
This is disintegrate, right?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. I like to imagine that Quanim rose his shield at the last second. The beam hits it, the shield turns into angel dust, like just white lights that scatter. It goes through the beam, hits his arm. The armor disappears, the flesh disappears, the bone disappears. It hits him in the chest. He looks up one last time, and then everyone would blink like once, and all you see is just scattering white lights, right where Quanim used to stand, as he's reduced to 0 hit points, disintegrated, and killed.
And as what used to be
Considering feels
Quanim
good.
falls into just these pure white ashes, the voice booms out. You have no hope. If you choose to serve me, I will let you live. Otherwise, you will fall alongside the same fate as your foolish friend. The one who hides in other worlds, the healer. What say you?
What of the mistress? And I will not serve you.
Your mistress has already made her choice.
I
Fucking
enjoy my
snitch.
freedoms. I enjoy my freedoms, and I will not submit to a tyrant like you.
Then you will die. There's no freedom in death.
More than in slavery.
It can give you more power than your foolish night mother ever did. You can return to your Drow, conquer them, rule them as the king of light within the shadow. All these things can be yours with a snap of my finger.
I abhor the light. I am the shadow, and I will not kneel.
If you insist. And how about you? looks over towards Zamiel.
Go to hell. I do
Be
not
as
need
fun
your
to kill.
light. I can live in shadow for all eternity, and I will be so alive. Go to hell.
I thought the humans were stubborn. Fine. If you want to suffer the same fate as your friend, I will bestow it upon you gladly. Come and face your light. Cytherine.
Cytherine looks around at her two comrades, like from within this now broken down house, from the beams of energy that have hit it. Kind of looks at them, look of disgust on her face, and she is going to disappear. Greater invisibility. And then she moves from where she was standing. And before she moves, she's going to give a bardic inspiration to the angel. And then she's like stealthing out of there. I mean, like moving from where she was so that they don't know where she is hiding anymore. Full movement speed.
Awesome.
And she's gone from sight.
All right, Cytherine has become invisible. Vanished. Karth, you're up. The angel is still up above the church.
Does the angel appear to have taken any damage? Does it look like it's even slightly close to being defeated? Not really, right?
You can tell that it's like on a technical level has like taken hits. But as far as looking anywhere close to like actually being dead, not particularly. Or not remotely would be more accurate.
Right. So Karth's estimation is that like he's probably not going to be able to do this alone. And Drow are nothing if not vindictive. I'm going to use my Mystic Arcanum to cast True Sight or True Seeing, and search for the mistress.
Yeah, you would absolutely see her.
Then I will move as quickly as I can in that direction. Can I? How far away is she from the church?
It was in the building nearby, so pretty close.
Yeah, I
assuming you
moved my
said
full
you
movement
towards the
speed
church?
after I had like, done that side.
Did you say you moved towards the church, Cytherine, or away from it?
Away from it. Maybe circle out towards it. I was basically just trying to hide.
Yeah, so she'd probably be a little bit out of your movement. Say she's probably 40 feet off.
Okay, no problem. So I'll move the 30 feet, and that would be my action to cast a spell. And other than that, I'm going to try and pop back into my lovely home.
Yep, do it up.
Okay, no, not this time.
Interesting. Alrighty, that will bring us to Zamiel.
Pissed off at the mistress's treachery, Zamiel is going to turn into a giant bat and hunt her out with his echolocation and try and bite her.
Perfect. Yeah, that would let you find her.
I assume that hits.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. That is 5 piercing damage.
All right.
As this giant bat flies to you and bites you in the neck.
Yeah, so
I can't hear you.
oh, sorry. Yeah, she thought she was being real clever with the invisibility there, and now she's like, "Oh, fuck." But I made my console invisible for what it's worth.
And that's all I can do. I bite her.
Perfect. Quanim is a pile of angel dust. So Angel's turn. It laughs how quickly they turn on each other. Fools. Alrighty, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, including Cytherine. So Karth, you're unaffected, but everybody else, there's a massive thunderclap that roars from the sky. Rain begins to pour, like pouring in sheets like you've never felt before, out of nowhere. Just immediately, rain is falling. The two of you that failed will become deafened for 1 minute, and you'll take 6 thunder damage.
Sorry, you cut
feel
out. How much
rain-
damage?
6 thunder damage. You feel the rain begin to heat up as it falls, going from cold to warm and then nearly boiling. And soon it will be too much to bear. The angel just sits above the church watching the drow chase each other and laughs. Karth.
I'm going to run towards Mistress and murder her. So
Wait,
the first one,
okay.
I cast True Sight last turn, so I can see.
Don't I
him.
go before cards?
Yes, actually. Sorry about that.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Suggestion on Karth. And I'm going to say to him, "We are doomed in this fight. We have no choice but to join forces with this being for now. Apart. Take Zamiel apart." And I'm going to suggest that you attack Zamiel to the best of your ability.
Okay, what do I have to do?
Wisdom saving throw. DC 17.
DC 17?
17. Easy.
Yes.
Okay, I make it.
All right. You're unaffected. Fuck. I run away. And yep, that's it.
Alrighty, then that'll take us to Karth.
Okay, can I reach him if I run or if I walk? I mean, I don't want to dash.
I think you caught up. I think you were behind by 10 feet, and then he used his full movement.
Okay, so no. So okay,
so no.
I'll throw my Eldritch Blasts instead.
Perfect.
I'll point the spear, and 3 blasts of energy will fire towards the treacherous mistress. First one's a crit. Second one is a 27, and the third one is a 25. I have plus 11 to hit.
All right, I'm out. Those all hit. I'm gone.
Oh, actually, I don't have plus 11 to hit on my Eldritch Blast, but the lowest was a 14 plus 9, which probably still hit.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
I'll use
so-
my
I think it's still.
on that one. So that takes a -9 actually.
Okay.
So what's the
Sure.
total?
Ooh. Mm, 14 and 5. And 5. So it'll be 29.
I'm dead.
What does that
Yeah,
look
so I
like?
point
You want
the
to describe?
spear.
You can describe it.
3 blasts fire. I hear these like the mistress's whispers in my ear at the last second, and one of the spells kind of fizzles and doesn't connect. But the first one is a direct shot to the back of the head, and the second one hits her in the back of the chest, and she falls down. I don't give it a second glance, and I look back towards the angel and think, what have I got to lose?
Awesome.
Oh, and I might go ethereal at the end of my turn. Let's hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Jesus. Alrighty, Zamiel. You are a bat, and the mistress you were chasing has just been blasted to pieces.
And I am also deaf. So yeah, I am changing back into a drow. And now I can see, like, oh good, she's wasted. And the warlock is gone again. Wonderful. Let's see. Spells. I'm going to cast Anti-Life Shell.
And what does that do?
Let's see. A shimmering barrier extends out for you in a 10-foot radius and moves with you, remaining centered on you, and hedging out creatures other than undead and constructs. Barrier prevents an affected creature from passing or reaching through. An affected creature can cast spells and make attacks with ranged or reached weapons through the barrier.
Okay, yeah, okay, I remember that one. As the angel continues to float above the church, the rain begins to pelt down harder. Becomes even hotter, the point where it starts to burn. Zamiel, you'll take 5 damage, acid damage, as this rainstorm pours over you, attempting to burn you from the sky. You can hear just the shouts of people burning alongside you, just the screams of carnage echoing back up into the air. The people left alive start sprinting inwards, trying to get back inside the church. But the angel itself waits. Karth.
Yes, sir. looks like I'm shit out of luck. Nope, I'm not. Okay, I just checked. The Mystic Arcanum doesn't take one of your spell slots. So, what I will do, and it's a fucking gamble, is I'm going to cast Dimension Door, and I'm going to say, what's the range?
500 feet.
I'm going to say 500 feet straight down, and walk through the door. Now, there's a good chance I just walk into a brick, but it might be a cavern or a convenient Drow city. Who knows?
Interesting. Roll me a percentile.
Yes, sir. A 37.
So you open this door through space itself. Not quite sure what will be on the other side. And you see bones around you, and then stone.
Is there
And
enough
as you
room for
look
me
up
to...
around,
Sorry.
you see that you've landed yourself inside a sprawling catacombs. Under the chapel.
It is better than nothing. I'll take a quick look around and try and guess which way I mean, I feel like the angel can't see me now, but nonetheless, I'm going to like try and move further down if I can, or like go further into the catacombs. Always trying to move down as opposed to up.
Absolutely. You start finding your way through the winding corridors. Zamiel, you hear the voice ring out once more. 2 of your friends are dead. 1 has abandoned you, left you for dead. I'll give you one final chance. If you serve me, you will live. You'll have power. You'll have followers. People will chant your names. Everything that you wish for can be yours. All you have to do is make a deal.
I lived long enough. Look, sorry. I've lived long enough. Go to hell. I serve myself. No
Not
one
for long.
else.
Zamiel, you're up.
I am going to windwalk away.
And
I turn into a
let's
cloud,
windwalk.
and it's usually it's for multiple people, but the way I'm casting it, it's just me, and I have a flying speed of 300 feet. And resistance to non-magical weapons, I turn into a cloud.
Does that not have a 1 minute casting time though?
Let me look.
It does.
It does actually.
I might fucked. Mm. I'm just gonna cast enhance ability on myself. Let's see. And I'm gonna use Cat's Grace to give me advantage on my dex. And I am just gonna run. disengage and run.
Perfect. You try to run. There's a flash of lightning. And next thing you know, you skid to a halt as the angel's right in your face. In a blink. It reaches its hands, one of its hands, towards you. There's a flash of light. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
$19.
You feel its eyes just pierce into you. I gave you a chance to join me willingly. You denied it. I tried again, tried to spare you, and you denied it. Yet, your words mean nothing to me. I'll take what I want. Let me know when you're ready to join. And suddenly you find yourself somewhere else. You're not sure where. You're completely surrounded by darkness. If you reach out, your hands touch a solid something, some sort of wall, but you don't know what it's made of. You try to cast a spell, nothing happens. You try to change shape, nothing happens. You try to speak, nothing happens. You just hear the words echoing in your head. Let me know when you're ready to join.
Never.
And that's where we'll end this session.
Oh boy.
Damn. That thing was crazy.
Guys fucked with the wrong angel.
Apparently.
Well, if someone hadn't switched sides, maybe we could have done it.
We'll never know. I thought I could trick him.
Maddie.
I got this nigga. First off, oh sorry, I didn't mean to say that on your live channel. But you can't trick an angel. Second off, I got disintegrated. So that was GG.
I'm so pleased I teleported into the ground and it worked. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, you found the catacombs.
Yeah,
Prison for all eternity.
I said a percentile dice for it. It was just like under 10, like he's just in the Underdark. Like under 35, I think I said like he's somewhere but not dead or like shunted away. And anything above that, like you're just gonna be screwed. And you got it.
Like I didn't know what else he could do, right? He was like so fucked, and I was like, it's something, you know, it's some sort of chance.
Yeah, sometimes you roll the dice and the dice favor you.
At least we killed all the angel's followers, and the angel killed the rest of them. So I mean, technically we won. I mean, it worked out for us.
I'm gonna go back there and be like, next time, put me in charge. I mean, put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, seriously, that party was so like dysfunctional. You have like the person who's supposed to be the leader who's like subverting all the plans, watching the fights from afar, like.
Right.
That was just that first fight.
Me and Lloyd were smiting people like clockwork. It was working out for us, for at first at least, until I got disintegrated. That put a stop to all our plans right there.
Like the two of us were smashing that thing, and like we were putting out like 50 damage each round. Like it was not bad.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys were doing like so much damage. Like that was way more than I thought you guys were going to be doing per round. Like you guys just wrecked all like the underlings.
I like how
Like,
you had
you're
the one. You had the one night walk at me from the church, and I one shot the guy.
Yeah, you did like 70, like 50 something damage in a single hit.
How
I was like,
high were they when they invented the blink spell? What the fuck is that? It's so powerful. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's absurd.
it's powerful until you roll under 11, and then you just get one shot by something.
Right. Yeah. But last for a minute,
Yeah,
it's
the
not
problem is
concentration. I'm like,
it
what?
protects you, but then the attacks get concentrated like on other people. You know.
Yeah.
So it is really powerful, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
Well, not
I
for a
mean,
drow, for a good person, sure, but for a drow, it's all good.
Yeah, when you're all evil, it's just like, fuck those guys.
Nice.
yeah, and I mean, once it killed everybody else, it was just gonna ready action and like wait for you to appear and then like
For
blast
sure,
you once you
yep.
showed up. But like it had saw no reason. Like you guys were making some like really good progress. Like that's the reason. Like I started pulling out like the big guns. This is like had nothing like.
How low did we get
way
it?
more than I thought.
Like in terms of percent, how low did we get it?
Probably like. I had to do like a quick guess, like 65 to 70%.
Lloyd, we were killing it.
I could have done it.
We were smashing it, Lloyd. We could have did it, dude.
Oh man, and I could have. I could have done it. Fuck.
If I just had saved more of my spells, oh, dude, we would have been so close to killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why it started pulling out all these like freaking big gun spells. It's just like actually getting its butt kicked. So it's like, no, I'm not going down. Not going down without using everything I got.
Yeah.
Did you make the angel, or was it like a monster manual thing?
No, that was my own thing.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
like
close.
the angels in the monster manual aren't like the angels in this setting are like not the same as like angels in Faerun. Like they're not like these like pure good in like the conventional good sense. They're more of just like extreme purity.
Yeah. Yep.
They shoot disintegration lasers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Freaking
So
disintegration.
They're much more like eldritch isn't probably the right word, but like closer to that of just
Sure.
like weird more than like angelic and like what most people would think of. So like it has like spell slots and like wizard spells and like radiant abilities and crazy things like that.
This warlock path is comical. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's bonkers.
It needs serious nerfing. It's way too powerful.
Yeah, once because I'm pretty sure it's 100% gonna be in Xanathars, but the biggest complaints were the hex armor, and then the curse, which lets you crit really easily.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see what the polished version of it will look like.
Yeah. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, I mean,
and I
I've
really like
seen-
the invocations and stuff. And I was a terrifying warrior as a warlock, which is rad,
Yeah.
But it's probably too good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Hexblades played like at lower levels, and it never seemed like that absurd. But like seeing like level 12, like that was just freaking off the charts. Like
Yeah, this is also where the
so
game
much.
starts to break down too. Is where he has like level 12, where the power gets kind of bonkers to
Yeah.
everybody.
yeah,
For sure.
Because if I had saved,
Yeah.
if I had saved my spell slots to the end, I can guarantee that Angel would have been done in under 5 rounds before it disintegrated me, because I would have slaughtered it.
For sure. And I
Yeah,
had
paladins
6
are badass.
invocations to choose from. And the invocations are really, really good. Like I had a +2
Yeah.
weapon from one of them, which is amazing. Like I had a +11 to hit with my spear, and I was doing +12 damage with it. What the
Yeah.
fuck? And then when I had my curse on it, I was doing +16 on every attack.
Fuck.
Man.
Which is the invocations at that point just going crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, thank you for the game, Jeff. I have to jet actually, so
Yeah,
All
man.
right,
Thanks so
sounds
much.
good. Thanks for playing,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, Jeff. Sorry I betrayed
Nah.
everybody.
not a problem, man. It's enjoyable. Peace out, everybody.
All right, see ya. Yeah,
Peace out.
I'll go ahead and end the broadcast here then. But there were a couple of people who watched, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks to you guys for playing. I had a lot of fun.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks.